Hello everyone and welcome to episode 208 of the Xbox Hall of Gamers podcast. This week I'm joined by Char.
Hi.
And Jake.
Hello.
And I'm Matt as always. This week, news is a little bit quiet. We got some achievement stuff come in. Sean Murray is threatening to give us more content for no money. And there's some more stuff around how AI is ruining the industry. But as always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Gamers is the place to find us. Come say hi, hang out, the usual business. You know how it all works. We do have a community question here from Red Ninja Dan, as always, who says, if Xbox added achievements to original Xbox games, what games would you guys want to hunt? For him, it would be the Knights of the Old Republic games, which is a great choice. I think this relates a little bit to some of the talk we've seen around the backwards compatibility team coming back together or being reformed or having some sort of new purpose that they haven't really outlined. And the rumors are maybe that it might be to do with original Xbox games or some sort of compatibility porting with more stuff for next gen, but next gen's not for a couple of years. So I don't know. It seems a bit weird, but yeah, I don't know. Are there any kind of older games on the original Xbox that you guys would be interested in looking at?
It's hard to think of things that aren't stuck on the Xbox that don't have achievements elsewhere. Like my first thought was like I was like, okay, what about Oddworld?
Stranger's Wrath.
Stranger's Wrath. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But that's been remade. Blinks has Blinks been remade?
No, I don't think Blinks has been remade.
That could be a good one because Stubbs' new achievements, the KOTOR games. Do those have Steam achievements, or are those just achievementless games? Like, just straight up, wherever you play them, they're achievementless.
Yeah, I don't know. Jake, I think your gate's cutting your volume a little bit.
Here, let me fix that. 1 sec. Yeah.
Actually, Dan is actually joining us in the chat. Morning, Dan. Thank you for joining us. We're just going over your question.
That should fix it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's much better.
I might be hot now, but...
A little bit, but that's okay.
Wait, are you always hot?
Hey.
Yeah, no, the KOTOR ones would be fun. Blinks is literally the only game I think I can think of right now that's like an Xbox exclusive. And this is coming also obviously from a retro achievement hunter and a multi-platform achievement hunter. So ported to Steam or has like it was a multi-platform game that had a PS2 or GameCube copy. It probably has retro achievements. So I'm like I'm like not thinking of those because it's like, okay, I can't achievement hunt those. So I'm like, what? Yeah, that's a good question. Blinks, I guess. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
Jade Empire? I don't think Jade Empire has achievements on anything.
No, yeah, Jade Empire would be a great one.
Yeah, I would for sure do Jade Empire. God, you could say for hours. You got me wanting to pull up like an original Xbox list of original Xbox games.
Yeah, I remember when the backwards compatibility program kind of started, and that they were talking about how they were going to bring original Xbox games to the 360 and all that sort of stuff, and that they were like, yeah, it's backwards compatible, or even further on, it's like you can still buy them digitally, but none of them had achievements. And it was really hard for me to be like, I have a huge backlog already by the time we get to the Xbox One generation. You know, we've talked on this podcast quite a bit around like struggling to play things without achievements and kind of not having that dopamine hit, and like understanding that there are a lot of good games out there that just don't have that system one way or the other, whether it's like trophies or Steam achievements or whatever. So like Nintendo games mostly.
So hard for me to play Switch games. I want to because they're all so good, but like it's hard for me to justify it, which is so dumb to say. But
yeah, it is. But you know, we're an achievement hunting podcast. I think it's fair. You know, I think that there's something to be said there. And I just so I think that like I would love for some original Xbox games to get achievements added to them. With you know, we're probably gonna have to buy them again or whatever. But like whatever, like if they do upscaling remastered versions or something along those lines, then maybe that might be interesting. I think the only game that I really bought that didn't have achievements as like an original Xbox game was Psychonauts, because it was one of those games that you just kind of had to play. and just has like, it was so beloved that I was like, you know what, like fuck it, I will just play this for the hell of playing it. And I think Psychonauts 2 is a fantastic example of a sequel. So
I think Psychonauts has it was a PS2 game too, so it does have retro achievements also, which like obviously, you know, Xbox and not everyone here retro hunts, but
yeah,
that'd be a fun one to do. No, I'll buy, honestly, I'll buy most old ported games just like from a preservationist standpoint, because if anything, it's voting with your wallet that let's not abandon, like, people want the old stuff accessible and new, like let's not abandon it. That's kind of my 2 cents on it. So I mean, that's the same reason you keep buying Legacy of Kain games.
This is true. Yeah, you want to signal that this is something that people want and you want to give money towards it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain's a good shout too. You know, if they hadn't redone them or anything like that, I'd love to. Like Defiance was, I think Defiance was on the Xbox. I can't remember, but it was definitely on the PlayStation too. I don't know. Char, are there any kind of old games you think would be interesting?
Well, you already said Psychonauts. That would have been the only one I would have said.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What was that? What was the old Crimson Skies? That'd be fun. I'd love to go back to that.
The old Do It, You're Scared, port over, God, what's it called? What's the fucking mech game?
Oh, Mech Warrior?
No. The one where you need basically a cockpit of peripherals to play.
Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion. They have one on 360, but yeah, do it. Remake Steel Battalion with the cockpit.
Hell yes.
You're scared.
Or yeah, remember they tried to do that Kinect one where it was like, yeah, you know, you can stand up and then it'll let you look outside the mech, and it just didn't fucking work at all.
Yeah. God, dude, I should get a copy of Steel Battalion. I don't know it's not cheap. I don't think.
No, it really is not.
Sure. Steel Battalion Xbox. I'm looking it up right now.
There is an illustration about someone talking about Steel Battalion that I have to share after this. It's just one of the funniest posts. I think it was on 4chan or something, about someone complaining about how the controls work and how ridiculous they are.
Yeah, they're stupid. It was relatively affordable for a long time. I remember, like, relatively speaking, it was like, I don't know, $300-400. But yeah, it's up to, this one looks for like 500 and this one looks 700. This one, somebody's selling the game only for 430, but they have 6 feedback, so I don't think they got the memo that they actually don't have gold unless they have all of the controls.
Yeah.
So they're just like, whoa, this game sells like crazy. I got a jackpot here. No, man, you need a lot more for it to be worth anything. Anyway.
Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question there, Dan. I think, yeah, there's definitely some big opportunity there for, I mean, obviously, Jake, you're a big fan of retro stuff. I think that the Xbox generation in particular, the original Xbox, is definitely one of those that got a bit overlooked in terms of, like, obviously the PlayStation 2 was such a powerhouse that there was a lot of stuff that just did not, like, either, you know, kind of got overlooked or games that kind of just didn't really get their day in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, which sucks because I don't know who's necessarily, I don't know if anyone, you could say it's fault of anyone, maybe they just didn't have the notoriety, but it always bums me out looking at the Xbox because in my opinion it was like just the best console that generation, from like a objective standpoint. Like it was the better hardware, the controllers, other than the Duke is an experience, but outside of the Duke, I felt like I had the best controller over the PS2 and GameCube controller. I love the GameCube controller, but I think just like if you just look at the Xbox controller, like ergonomically it was better. So it kind of sucks that it's just like it didn't have a lot going for it, but it had Halo and Halo 2. So, you know, what more can you ask for?
There is that. Yeah, I was going to make a joke about them putting achievements on Halo for the 90th time.
Yeah.
Which I think we'll be seeing this year with the new Halo remaster, or remake.
And trophies.
Yes, and trophies. Yeah, which is, you know, that's a fun one.
I think I'm gonna trophy hunt it just like for the weirdness. Like I don't think I'm gonna get it on Xbox. I think I'm just gonna trophy hunt it.
Fair. Yeah, I can see that.
Everyone's going to be sharing their Halo remaster achievement completions in the Discord, and I'm going to be the one fucker who shares a platinum.
Banned.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of achievements, we also got some news this week that the Xbox achievement system is getting its first overhaul in forever. Now, again, this is a relatively small thing, but it kind of indicates some of the stuff that Asha Sharma has been pushing forward, apparently, at Xbox to try and, they've done a couple of sprints to try and get some of these requested features out. I think, again, I don't know why. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some of the stuff was already in the works or in the backlog or somewhere, and they've kind of, I think she's trying to generate some goodwill, but...
Well, this was rumored for a long... Like, I could have swore this was rumored, right?
There was some of the stuff was, for sure, yeah. Some of the stuff was on the Insider program. But, yeah, the new features...
I thought some...
Sorry, yep.
I was just going to say, I thought some of... Like, I thought... What we got, and maybe this isn't it, maybe this isn't everything, but honestly, it's a little underwhelming for, like, what was rumored. Like, I thought, and maybe I just made it up, or maybe I wanted to wish it into reality, but I thought I heard they were going the, like, kind of copying PlayStation a bit and, like, separating DLCs out from base games.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's
trying
definitely...
to make more of an event out of a completion, but...
Yeah, there's definitely been, like, TA put up a bit of an article around, like, the features that didn't get added that are most requested, like the top 3. So maybe we could talk about that as well. But I think, yeah, what's being added in this was they've updated the, like, 100%. So when you're 100% a game now, if you look on someone's profile, it kind of gets highlighted now. So there's kind of a little bit of a trophy case thing going on there. Again, how often you look at someone's lists, I don't know. But... they've also updated...
I used to on the 360 a lot.
Yeah.
The Xbox One just made it such a pain too, so I stopped. But I used to on the 360 constantly.
Yeah, same. So it'll be highlighted in the achievement list. You can see which ones you've done. And there's also a filter to only see completed games, which is kind of interesting. Again, a lot of the stuff is things that you'd probably use TA for the most part, but interesting near the list. Excuse me. Yeah, the other bit was they're allowing you to hide games from your achievement list. So originally you could only hide games that you hadn't popped any achievements for. Now you can hide whatever games you like. It doesn't take away the gamer score or remove them from your profile or anything like that. That is a big requested feature that a lot of people have asked for, including myself. So we'll see if this is like maybe a first step or what they kind of do in that space. Obviously, there's a lot of like, how do you manage that? But, and yeah, they've also done a bit of a redesign of the rare achievements. They've got a couple of new features there around like the design.
Shiny.
Yeah, it looks nice. But yeah, I think to your point, Jack, it definitely is kind of an underwhelming. Like it's cool that we're getting new stuff, and this is the first time we've had any achievement updates in a very long time. Since the rare achievement thing started.
Yeah, it's cool that they're like, yeah, we remember the achievement system is there, like they're acknowledging it. And like I said, maybe they're not done. Maybe this is just like acknowledging that the achievement system is there and hasn't been touched in a while, and they're thinking about it and they're improving it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think they have kind of indicated that there's more to come, at least in the sort of design and UI space. So hopefully achievements are part of that. That there was a lot of talk years ago around like a big achievement overhaul that was kind of, I think, been sidelined over the years. But it'd be great to see, some change, especially with the new generation coming in. I mean, shit, like we were talking about what was going to happen with achievements 7 years ago. When it was like, end of the Xbox One generation, beginning of the Series X and Series S, and it's like, are they going to make any changes? Are there going to be updates? And it's like, no, not really. Just kind of it is what it is. They haven't really done anything much. So, half a new story there, basically.
When did they add the reveal secret achievement thing? I feel like that kind of snuck in there out of nowhere.
Last year sometime, because I enjoyed that.
The reveal secret achievement thing. Oh, that's right.
When you can open it, you show the secret achievement.
Yeah, they've done some like very small, hardly noticeable things like that. The reveal secret achievement. And then the like get help button, the
Yes.
and it pulls up like TA or something.
Yeah.
Or, like
Yeah.
a Bing search on TA, which is cool too. But I can't think of really anything else other than like tiny quality of life things that are like just nearly unnoticeable.
Yeah.
But this is cool. Hopefully we get more. That'd be sweet.
It's time.
June last year was when they pulled up the.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, 2020 just says June 2022.
Yeah, I was going to say it's been
So
a
it's
long
been
time.
around for a while. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you. Next news story here is it's like I said in the intro. It's Sean Murray's time to put an emoji out on Twitter and everyone speculate over what he's talking about. So this time it was the picture of a stadium, and it turns out that No Man's Sky is getting yet another update for free. It's a Xeno Arena Pokemon style battle based simulator mode. This is like update 6.3. So the whole thing is that they're adding a whole new Pokemon system where all the weird things that their engine generates, you can now capture them and make them fight each other. It's kind of nuts, actually. A lot of people have been kind of talking about like how it all works and sort of like turn-based stuff, and yeah, it's an interesting idea. The fact that it's free, and the fact that they haven't done any paid DLC for this game over all of its years, is
Crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, how do they generate revenue? Just like by making the game just like better and better updates of the game, and they just keep selling more and more copies. Because like the game seems healthy, like the player base. Like I can't seem to not hear about No Man's Sky.
For sure.
Which is crazy given its start. It's cool though. Every time I haven't finished it. I got the hard achievements, like the permadeath one, because jumping into a buddy's game, I have to go do like just everything else. And every time I see like an update, I'm just like, God, I should go check that game out again. I should get back into it. It was fun. It's a fun game. I like it, but
yeah, I mean, it's got to be just that they're a small team, so they're the amount that they need to make is probably not, their overhead is probably not super huge.
Sure.
And the game is popular enough and it gets enough good word of mouth and that sort of stuff, and has a bit of a cult following that they sell enough to keep it going. It is surprising though, for sure. Red Ninja Dan says Nintendo incoming. Yeah, there is that, right? I mean, you could already tame animals in the game before this, so it's not like this is like a completely new out of the blue stuff, right? Like it is really just kind of being able to battle them and kind of them having attack type. So it definitely is Pokemon inspired for sure. But I think you could make the argument that people have been
Nintendo would have to go after Blizzard. They were. I feel like in my memory, I'm sure I'm missing something. World of Warcraft was the first game that wasn't a Pokemon game to add a Pokemon mini game to it. There could have been more, but I was the first one where like basically all I knew that was capture monster and fight was Pokemon, and then World of Warcraft was like, hey, here's introducing capture monster and fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? Only Pokemon can do capture monster and fight.
Oh, that's great. I don't know, Char, have you played No Man's Sky?
No, I have not.
You have any interest?
It's a good time. It's pretty relaxing.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard good things. It's not probably my kind of thing.
That's fair. I understand that, and like I like it when you play on casual and you just kind of fly around and do interesting stuff. I think the doing survival mode is probably more than I'm willing to invest in something like that. But
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm down to fly around in a spacecraft and like explore a cool ass planet, but I'm super okay with the turn game into walking sim mode settings.
Yeah.
I would like ooh and ah mode, please.
Yes, 100%.
Not your oxygen levels are depleting and you're going to die on this barren rock.
Yeah.
So story mode.
Yes, exactly. Basically, yes. Yeah. So apparently, after 20 years of pre-production limbo, the Metal Gear Solid movie might be finally happening. We'll see what's going to happen there. Apparently, it's going to be directed by the Final Destination Bloodlines director duo. So, I mean, that's an interesting choice. Bloodlines was a fun movie. I guess But I was going to be like, I was about to say, I don't know if it has the level of gravitas and seriousness that Metal Gear Solid needs. But then I remembered what Metal Gear Solid story is actually about, and it might actually be the perfect fit.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, admittedly, first this is actually no. I'm sure I heard about it. This is hearing about the Metal Gear Solid movie feels like the first time I've ever heard about it. I'm sure in the years of looking at media, I've like glossed over like a headline that was like, "Oh, Metal Gear Solid movie in the works," and that just went next.
Yeah.
But 20 years, it may sound like that's kind of one of those things where it's like, "Oh wow, it took forever. Why did it take so long?" It's almost better that it did because of the landscape of video game multimedia now. Like I feel like 10 years ago, it didn't matter how good the movie was, it still would have probably been a little campy and a joke because that was just kind of the landscape of video game multimedia. But now you have like there's so much backing behind it and the culture is so rich now, I feel like that it could be really sick. I should say, I guess, to kind of wrap it all up, I feel like I used to never get excited about video game movies, and I feel like this probably would have been the same 10 years ago. But now I do get excited about video game movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. And like, you just have to look at like Lights Camera and Action episodes that we did of the old movies versus more recent ones and being like, actually, like there's some like we're not just ripping the shit out of this movie. Like there's actually some good stuff in there. So I'm Oscar Isaacs was apparently supposed to be Oscar Isaac was supposed to be like he's supposed to be playing Snake originally. I think was the original casting back in the day. I don't know if that's still happening or where it even sits, considering it's been in pre-production for so long. Hideo Kojima stated at E3 2006 that he negotiated a contract with a Hollywood studio to adapt the game into a film. I mean, I think that, but I think to your point, Jake, that it makes perfect sense for now to be a good time, especially with on the Nintendo side. And again, like there's some crossover with some of the people working on this stuff with some of the Nintendo stuff with the Zelda live action movie, and obviously with the Super Mario Brothers movies doing very well and Sonic doing very well. I think we're definitely in a different landscape where it's like video game adaptations have the potential to be good, and Metal Gear is almost a movie to begin with. So I feel like there's an aspect there of like, if they get the tone right, the rest of it will probably kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
It's like when they go to, I was literally just talking to my partner about this the other day. She works in the theater industry, and apparently they were talking to like one of the costume designers for the Back to the Future musical. And they were like, yeah, costume designing actually was really boring for this one because the costumes and outfits are so iconic. It was just kind of a carbon copy. It's kind of one of those things where it's just like, well, the source material's here and good, and there's a lot of it. So, like, we just kind of have to adapt.
Yeah. No,
so,
that's fair. Man, I should get back to Metal Gear. I played a bit of Peace Walker. I need to jump back into it.
Yeah. I've played all of them. Oh, have I? Yeah. I haven't finished. I haven't 100% finished. Fan of Pain, but I keep being taunted by the collection and the Delta remake and the collection Volume 2 coming out, and I'm just like, I do like Metal Gear Solid enough to like do it all again. I do think that I'm just trying to find the right time. The only one I actually might not do again is funny enough, Peace Walker. Love that game. I don't know if I want to grind out. Like I have the infinite weapon or infinite ammo item in the extraction rocket launcher to like give around to people, and it makes it a breeze. But I had to get that myself, and getting it myself was kind of a huge pain in the ass. So I don't know if I want to do that again. We'll see, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's been what I've been running into playing through it, is like there is a lot of like, it's very bite sized because it was a portable game, and then being like, play these little missions over and over again to get enough troops to get your R&D level up. But I'm like, okay, that's not really what I'm here for. But
You figure I would like you don't really have to think about that part too much until you're at the end game grind doing R&D, and then there's like one good mission you can farm over and over, so you don't have to like I remember not wanting to have to think about that a ton either.
Yeah.
And then towards the end I was like, oh, I don't really have to like think about it. I can just there's one guy, you can recruit him 1,000,000 times, and he's an S rank in science, and I'm gonna go get 10 of those. Then there's one other guy in this other mission, and he's an S rank in whatever the things are, and you just go get him and you farm it a couple times.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Might jump back into it then. Yeah.
You can find Hideo Kojima. There's an achievement for it actually.
Yeah,
and you can just go get an army of. You can go get an army of Hideo Kojimas and you're ready.
Cool.
Okay, so another new headline here is, of the 500 plus AI tools tested by leading game dev tech provider, only half a dozen help in the right way, quote unquote. Yeah, so I think
500 plus AI tools.
Yeah,
why are there 500 plus?
Because everyone's got a grift. Everyone, like that's how it works. Everything has AI attached to it.
There are that many ChatGPT wrappers out there? That's insane.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a studio in Ireland called Keyword Studios, founded in 1998. And they do tech support. They basically do tech support and sort of tech specialties for a bunch of companies, providing them tools for their development. Some of the examples they gave here are Dune Awakening, Marvel Rivals, Still Wakes the Deep, Alan Wake Remastered, Dead Island 2, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And so they did an interview with the game business where they basically said that they've assessed over 500 AI game development tools, and only around 6 of them were actually truly useful. And so, yeah, they do a lot of R&D. Here's the quote. We do a lot of R&D within keywords. We tested about 500 AI tools on some of the R&D projects we've done, and about half a dozen we felt complement development in the right way. I mean, I'm not, again, this is like, yeah, of course this is the case. I mean, 500 is fucking ridiculous. But the fact that only 6 of them are actually useful is not super surprising to me.
No, me neither. No, I mean, not to mention, again, it's like I feel most AI tools are bias affirming chatbots and nothing else.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the vast majority are, especially anything based off of ChatGPT. I'm increasingly interested to see where we end up with AI as it refers to AI. Can't not talk about it, I guess, and almost like I feel like I talk about AI every single day at work. I work in tech. It's just, it's one of those things, but I'm ready. I'm getting to the point of exhaustion with not necessarily AI itself, but the waiting for the dust to settle part.
Sure.
Like I just want to be in 2008, like post internet launch 2008. Like, okay, this is what the internet is. Cool, got it, great. Like I just want to speed run to that part.
You want the bubble to pop, and basically for the the remaining players to actually kind of get their shit together, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly where I want to be. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the doomsday prep and the uncertainty and the garbage, just useless slop and the bubble and everything. Just.
But we're in the
forward.
end times.
Wake me up when it's just everyday Karen feeding.
Valid. Fair. We'll put you in a coma. Exactly.
Yeah. It's an interesting one because I think that we talk a lot about AI as how it impacts people who play games. A lot in terms of like developers shoving AI features into their games and making us suffer through it. We talked a little bit the other week around this Dragon Quest thing, the Dragon Quest Online thing, where it's a little slimy chatbot dude who jumps up and it's like, hey, you want some help? And it's like, fuck off, Clippy. Like, I don't know.
I don't need that. If I want help, I'll go find it myself. Like,
exactly,
I'm good.
Right.
I don't need.
Mhm.
I don't need. I don't want it in my game. That I get annoyed by that because I will go and look for it when, like at the moment playing when I'm playing, I have my iPad up which has a map, and it has the walkthrough, and I use that. I don't want it on my game.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally
It's like
understand.
I have 3 monitors here. One has the game, one has a map, one tab is split between a tab that has a checklist.
Yeah. But you want your game
You're-
to be your game. You don't want like
you're-
bits and pieces. Mm.
Clippy, you're not going to be able to do anything I can't do
No.
here. Like I'm not.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to do anything for me that I'm not already doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's going to be more efficient. It feels like it's wasting space in my game, and that really annoys me.
It's like the Parks and Rec meme, the Ron Swanson. I know more than you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And look, if it gets to the stage where the AI can do all that stuff for me in a way that I think is accurate, you know, maybe.
Yeah.
But even then,
Like,
Like
put it in the
we've talked-
game.
We've talked about it on the show before, or at least I know I have. I do want, like, I do think it'd be cool to have a little AI companion that's not like intrusive, but more just like, hey, there's a collectible. You're getting close to a achievement spot or a collectible spot. Like I can say, hey, I'm an achievement focused oriented gamer. I just want some help being like having cults. So I want help not missing anything. It's like great.
But my
I'll do
question
that.
is, do you want that in the game itself, or do you want that as a separate tool?
I think that almost exclusively have to be a separate tool.
Yeah.
And that's I don't want I don't want Clippy in coded in the game.
It needs to be like a little message box or something like that. Like that would be
Yeah.
fine for me, or like you're heading in the right direction, or
Yeah.
a map overlay or something like that. 'Cause,
I don't want every single one of my game settings to have an AI tab, like
Exactly.
menu for like how to adjust the AI for this game. Like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, no.
And so it's funny, right? Because like we're basically saying that like we don't want AI, like it's not what we need and what we need in our games. And developers on the other side who are making the games are also, I mean, like they were talking about the Game Developers Conference State of the Industry report. 90% of developers who were surveyed said they're using AI development, but 52% don't approve of using AI. Like that's kind of insane, right? And the fact, and I think they also call out in this that like there's obviously something going on in that space that needs to be like regulated or controlled or something, where it's like just because it's the Wild West out there with AI, with people are just chucking stuff, and like there's data concerns, there's privacy concerns, you know.
It's exactly what I said before. It's the people don't want to miss out. And because
Yes.
they don't want to miss out, they're doing things quicker than they should be, and they're not allowing time to assess the risks or create guardrails. And that's the problem, because that's what's exactly happening at my work. We literally do not have any guardrails because they have not given us time to. They're just like, oh, we're going to miss out. We have to do it now, or we're going to miss the like everybody else is doing the same thing. So we have to do it now.
And it's like that big controversial Larian thing too that happened recently, where they're like, yeah, we're white boxing with AI, and the internet lost their fucking minds. And they're like, Sven was like, dude, we're not like, you know, head over heels for this. We're just in the tech industry. And if you kind of need to use it, because what if it is the thing, and now you're way behind, and then you're you know you have to, whatever, worst case scenario.
That's exactly it, though. If you get behind, you're behind, and everyone else is ahead of you. So you have to at least try it, but it's trying it without guardrails or without protections. That's my issue with it. Like,
which is, I think, like to Jake's point there, like Sven was saying, he's like very much like we were testing this out as a thing to see if there was any benefit
see
to
if it works.
Taking the most measured, correct approach. And I think from what he said was that like they didn't really see any efficiencies with the stuff that they currently have. And that
his approach was sorry, go ahead.
So that probably won't always be the case, right? Like obviously this technology will continue to grow and improve, and you know, if we're talking a few years down the line, maybe that's a different story. But I think that to bury your head in the sand and go, this thing doesn't exist, we're not even going to have any understanding of it.
He had such the most lukewarm take too. It was so funny. He was basically like, we're using it to test it because we have to, because the industry needs us to, but we don't find a ton of use out of it, and if our developers want to use it, they can. Like, and everyone lost their mind. Where he's just like, if people want to go to our studio, they're allowed to. We're not going to tell people not. And, but yeah, that's the other thing. It's just going to get better. And it's interesting where it's just like it's in an industry where everyone has to kind of follow suit with these big not revolutionary, but like, revolutionary, destabilizing. That's the word I was looking for. Destabilizing technologies. Everyone has to do the same thing, and currently, what everyone's doing is throwing their hands in the air, screaming, running in circles, and everyone has to do that, and it's equally silly everywhere around. But because everyone's doing it, you have to. It's like it's an industry where people are jumping off the bridge, so I have to also.
Yeah,
like everyone has to jump off the bridge.
Exactly.
That's exactly it, though.
You know, they're
doing it, so I have to. Shit.
Exactly.
I've got to do this now, or I'm going to miss out.
Oh my God.
Like, well, yeah, okay. If you want to jump off the bridge, go for it. Like
this company jumped off the bridge. They've got the early mover advantage, guys. We got to catch up.
Oh, shit.
They give themselves a 6-month head start of hitting the ground and dying. Like,
we got to jump off the bridge with a brick strapped to our feet, actually, so we can catch up.
Screw the bungee ropes, like.
Yeah.
How do we jump off the bridge faster and hit the ground before they do, and make sure that our competitors don't even know where the bridge is?
And that's just, that's where we're at right now with AI. Is everyone's jumping off the proverbial bridge because they don't feel like they have a choice.
Yeah.
No, well, this episode is going to be called Bridge to Nowhere.
Yeah, there we go.
I like it.
Again, like we've talked about AI a lot on this show, but it is one of those things that keeps coming up, and it's just so interesting to see that like the majority of people who play games aren't interested in it. The people who make the games aren't interested in it. Like it really is interesting. Of just like it is the Emperor's New Clothes thing of just like someone has convinced everyone that they have to be doing this thing. And it's just kind of just gone crazy.
And everyone's freaked out that they have to be part of it. It's really funny though, because I can see benefits of AI, right? Especially from a standpoint of having ADHD and autism. It actually makes a lot of things easier for me because it gives me structure that I don't always know how to create because my brain doesn't work in that way where it's like total chaos. And then if I put all of my thoughts in chaos mode into an AI or a co-pilot, for example, it spits it out in a logical order. And I'm like, cool, I like it for that, but I don't like it for replacing art or replacing narrative writing or things that are creative and that are instinctively human. Those are the things that I don't like it for, where people are using it to replace them being creative. And that's what I don't like about it being used in the gaming industry. And I think that's the point that I'm like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the most, I think that's the pragmatic sentiment I think most people share. Because
like
there are
practical applications, but replacing something that's human,
there's value for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's silly to ignore the potential value. I was talking to my partner again today about it because again, it's like it feels like every other conversation I have is about AI. That I was like, it's a science and engineering tool, and currently people are trying to like shove it into places it's not a science and engineering, like where there's no science or engineering going on.
Yeah.
There's copywriting and e-dating.
Yeah.
All right, our next story here. This is I just have to talk about this. So there was an interview with the State of Decay Undead Labs head Philip Holt, who was talking on a podcast around what's happening with State of Decay 3, because obviously, for those who don't know, this is a game that they announced 6 years ago, and we have not even seen a gameplay trailer of this. And apparently it was revealed that when that initial trailer, like announcement trailer came out, it was all pre-rendered, which is not super surprising for an announcement trailer. They hadn't even started on the game. Apparently the game was sitting in a Word document. They had a team of about 4 or 5 people writing down ideas. And so they weren't even in pre-production. They were like, this was ideation. And so, yeah, apparently a bunch of stuff in there, like there's like a zombie deer and stuff. They're like, yeah, no, that's not going to be in the game. Like a bunch of the stuff is just like, it was the most concept of concept trailers, which I just wanted to say, like, I can understand that for if you have a new IP or you're trying to get a new project off the ground and you want to get people excited, you do a thing where you're like, oh, cool, here's a pre-rendered trailer, here's some like vibe stuff. It's basically a casting call for trying to get talent on board to build your game.
Yeah.
This is Undead Labs. This is State of Decay 3. They're owned by Microsoft. What the fuck? like I just, it seems so out of place. And again, like we've talked about how this game kind of was announced, disappeared for a bit. We got like a cinematic trailer like 3 years ago, I think it was, and then we haven't heard anything about it at any like Summer Games Fest or anything like that.
You know what this is? It kind of makes me think about like how this happened. I'm like trying to figure out in my head why would they jump from a Word document and 4 dudes to like here's a pre-rendered trailer at a game show, and it just it makes me think of like just things I've experienced in the corporate world. Is like some SVP or EVP walks into a room and he's like, "What are you guys working on?" And they're just like, "Oh, well, you know, we got this we're whiteboarding, like early whiteboarding. We got like 2 paragraphs on State of Decay 3 kind of going on because, you know, we're wrapping up State of Decay 2." And the EVP just immediately is like, "I love it, run with it, we're doing that." And he's just like, all of a sudden, it's just big steamroll. Yeah. And the people in whiteboarding are all just like, "No, God, please, stop. No, what do you do? What do you do?" The amount of times I've had executives at work like get going on something because they caught me at the wrong time. And they're like, I'm just like, "No, please, stop, slow down."
Oh, I made the mistake of mentioning offhand lead scoring. And that spiraled out into a whole thing of just like, fuck, okay, yes, that's like,
I try real hard to pick my words in certain meetings around certain company carefully because I'm just like, I know about this thing, but like, what do they know about the thing yet? And I don't want them to know about it yet.
Yeah, it is really, really funny though. Just this like, because State of Decay 2 was like, a pretty big success. People really had like, it's again like, it was more like AA development, but obviously still had made a big splash more than outside of its kind of indie roots from the first game. But they did announce this week that they apparently are going to be having alpha playtests in May. So I think that we'll almost certainly see it at the Xbox Showcase. They'll have something to talk about. Hopefully, finally, we'll get to see the game. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight, like, it's just really funny because we do talk about how games kind of disappear sometimes. And State of Decay 3 is that one that, like, every time the Game Awards or the Summer Games Fest rolls around, you're like, where the fuck is this game? Like, what? Like, this isn't just some indie thing. This is a Microsoft-backed studio. I was worried that this was another Everwild with Rare, where it was like, we go through development hell.
It's almost crazy it didn't get, so it has now outlived so many games that were announced and then canned in the time span of
exactly.
2020.
Yeah. So,
which is crazy.
So yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm like, I State of Decay 1 is one of those games I need to go back in my backlog and finish. But yeah, we'll see what the third one is like. I'm hoping that we hear a little bit more about it because it has been a long time. And then just this last one here, PlayStation is letting one player win the chance to be scanned and appear in Gran Turismo 7 with its new player-based program. So the whole thing is that if you win this competition, you can be part of Gran Turismo 7, which is a game that's been out for ages. And I guess you get to be like a little NPC, like it's just like a head and maybe like a head and shoulders shot of just like, I don't know.
Everything about reading this was actually interesting because I opened this article and I was like, oh, Gran Turismo 7, cool. A player will be in the new Gran Turismo, and then you're like, it's been out for. I'm like, yeah, wait, no, it has. And then also, I didn't read the headline. There's a picture with this news article that I read first, and I was mortified. I was like, oh no, what are we doing, PlayStation? What is happening? So this is currently have been a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. Yes. I when I first heard this, I was like, are they doing some weird AI thing where they're like, hey, give us your AI likeness and we'll put you in video games? But no, again,
Oh, like
it's
Skinny and that old lady in New
yes,
Zealand
yeah,
who sold her likeness, and now forever she is now the Skinny mascot.
yeah, it's very strange. God, I hate those ads so much.
Oh my god, I hate them so much.
But we are talking about them, which is exactly what they want. So unfortunately,
That's what they wanted.
work.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that this again, this is not that big of a thing. I think it's just that they're doing a bit of a contest to have you join this game and be part of it, and they'll scan you or whatever. But like, I don't know. I feel like I wanted to talk about this as like in a concept of like, would you guys want to be in a video game? I just.
There's a lot of things I think I would have wanted a few years ago, even like a decade ago. And the only reason I don't want them now, I do think it's a lot less of like personal growth or interest change and more social landscape. Like the tech feudalism kind of like just the tech feudalism has ruined the vibe of so many things I was excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. It is so funny, right? Like you if you wrote these things down on a list, you'd be like, that's some cool shit. That's some cool like future sci-fi shit that's coming up. And it's like, yeah, but also it's all run by tech bros who have ruined fucking everything.
It's like, oh, the tech oligarchs, the modern day oil barons, actually all are literal cartoonish supervillains.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane. So now all these things, I'm just like, no.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll be curious to see. Like, it does feel weird that Gran Turismo 7 is just this weird thing they've got going on, but yeah, I guess we'll see who the winner is of this. Guys, I need you to stop. It's all hang on, it's fine.
I'm stopping.
No, I know. It's just like because I'm recording from the Discord, so all those are coming through.
Okay, so put yourself on Do Not
Which
Disturb.
I'm about to because I'm also trying to host a fucking show here. Game Pass updates.
How that works.
Technical difficulties.
All right, that's fine. Jake, can you read through the Game Pass updates, please?
Yes, I would happily do that. Game Pass updates. Here we go. So we have joining on a bunch on April 8th. We have DayZ, Warhammer Vermintide 2, DayZ coming to PC. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is coming to cloud and console with Game Pass Essential. Endless Legend 2 is coming to PC. I feel like that was already on Game Pass at one point in time.
Yeah, this is premium, so some of the stuff is going to the new tiers or the lower tiers now.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought even way before. Like, I thought I baby gamed that game like 5 years ago. But
maybe, but it's probably just like the lower level of Big's part with you. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's one
sure.
unobtainable,
Anyway.
so probably not.
I guess I didn't. Okay, I must be confusing with another game. All right, FBC Firebreak is coming to cloud, Xbox Series X, and PC with Game Pass Premium. And then on to April 9th, we have... God, you gave me a week when there's so much stuff.
It's a big week. This
April 9th, April 9th, Planet Coaster 2 is coming to cloud, Xbox Series X, and PC, Game Pass Ultimate Premium, and Standard. Or Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, PC Game Pass. There we go. April 10th, Tiny Bookshop is coming to cloud, Xbox Series X, and handheld and PC on Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass.
Looks like a real interesting, cozy game.
April 13th, we have Football Manager 26, both coming to PC and to console on Game Pass Premium. On April 14th, we have a few games. Hades 2 is finally getting freed from the PC and Switch, which is exciting. You'll be able to play that if you have Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, or PC Game Pass. Replaced is coming to PC or to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, and the Thaumaturge is coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass. Moving on to April 16th, NHL 26 is coming to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is coming to Premium. I believe that was previously on Ultimate only. So that's getting an upgrade. April 17th, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC Game Pass. April 21st, Little Rocket Lab is coming to Game Pass Premium. Sopa Tale of the Stolen Potato is coming to Game Pass Premium, and Vampire Crawlers is coming to Ultimate and PC Game Pass. And finally, for the games coming, Kiln is coming on April 23rd to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. So holy smokes, lots of stuff coming this month.
Yeah.
But we do have a few leaving announcements. We have Ashen leaving Game Pass. I've never known how to say this game. Eiyuden
Chronicles? Yeah, I don't know.
Eiyuden Chronicle. 100 Heroes is leaving GTA 5. Every version of GTA 5. Xbox One, Windows Enhanced, and the Series X versions are all leaving. My Little Pony is Zephyr Heights Mystery. So get in there, all your Esquarian, whatever the horse word is.
I'll be talking about it.
Horse bros.
Yeah. All the horse bros getting in there. And Terra Invicta was a PC game that is also leaving Game Pass. And that is all for the Game Pass updates.
Nice.
Yeah, big couple of weeks there. I'm very excited to jump onto Hades 2, obviously. Replaced.
Hell yeah.
Finally coming out after all these years. Yeah.
I'm excited for Tiny Bookshop. That should be fun. I like my chill games.
I want to hear a little bit more about this Thaumaturge game, because it looks like it's been out for... It came out a couple of years ago, so I don't really know much about it. But apparently it's turn-based combat. Looks interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's been yelling at me to play Hades 2. She's been
I cannot
on the Switch
fucking
too.
wait. I cannot wait.
That'll be exciting.
And I didn't even finish Hades 1, and it's still my favorite game. Like, that is still my number one game.
It's great.
And I have it on my Switch and on my Xbox, and I own it on my Xbox, and I will probably end up buying Hades 2 on my Xbox because I love the first one so much. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I've pre-installed it. I'm like, I'm ready.
Is it getting a physical? I want a physical
I don't know.
of that game.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I have the first one.
out.
We'll see.
I don't know where to buy it now that we don't have EB Games, but whatever.
Yeah, there is that too.
JB Hi-Fi, I guess. The only real option, I think.
Yeah, basically.
The warehouse?
Non-leaming and stuff probably still have some.
Yeah, but that's the warehouse.
That's true, actually. You're right, yeah.
It's hard to buy the warehouse.
Currently, looks like you can only buy a game key card version on the Switch. I think.
All right.
Is it a key card version? I'm not sure. You can only buy physical.
Probably it'll be the digital, whatever. That's what I've seen.
It's 5. Yeah, there's no PS5 or Xbox confirmation of a physical. Anyway,
I'm curious to see what some of the achievements are for Kiln as well, because I do, I love Double Fine, so that looks like an interesting kind of thing that they've been working on.
Yeah, and there's nothing on TA yet for that one.
No, not yet. So
yep,
we shall see. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully you can boost it, because I think it'll be all multiplayer, right? So hopefully it's not too demanding. We also have the patreon.com/HallOfGamers if you want to help support the show. A huge thank you to Old Mate Clown, Cavaliero7, Hack and Pone, Kung Fu Skills, Happy Moogles, Admiral Awesome, Natolinator, Lee Howard, Left Legacy, and Venoms AU. Without you guys, we literally couldn't afford to do the show, so thank you so much. We do try to put out extra content on there. If you do want to support at any tier, we greatly appreciate it. All right, and we also have the monthly theme, which for March and April has been everyone was Kung Fu Fighting, playing games where you engage in unarmed combat. I'm actually playing one at the moment. So keen to see what you guys have been playing, get your punches and kicks and throws in. So let us know on the Discord.
How do I fit my games into that?
Yeah, see, that's
keep forgetting to test ESO.
Yes.
But maybe Chrono Trigger does have a character that can only do bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that counts.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, I played a monk class in every single Final Fantasy just about. So like that all counts because they're so ridiculously overpowered.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you can't even equip the character with a weapon if you tried. So yes, I got one. I still gotta test ESO though.
All right, well, let's get into what we've been playing. Let's start with you, Jake. Have you got something?
Yeah, I'll start with. It's only been a couple games since the last time I was on because I've actually been on more regularly, which is good and fun and exciting.
Yeah.
I I'll start. I mean, it's kind of the same. I've been playing ESO has been the big grind, but less so. I don't know what if by the time I was on last time I'd already finished all the vet dungeons. I think I had.
You were
So it's
cycling
just,
through them again. I think you need to get to the ones at the top, I think is what you were saying.
that's what it was. So I'm done now. I'm done with all the vet dungeons, which are, in my
Yeah.
opinion, when you look at the list, other than Emperor, they are actually kind of the more tricky achievements in the game. Mostly because the dungeon content is pretty, like, people don't do 4-man content, which is a huge bummer, because having now just gone through all 34 DLC dungeons on the veteran difficulty, they're really fun. And I think that the reason a lot of people don't go through them is because they so much want to be random pickup group content, like stuff you queue for and find a group and do it with a group with low communication. But they're quite mechanic heavy. Like some of them, the later the later they got in the development cycle, the more like almost mini raid like they were, and the more mechanic heavy they were. I am critical because of that. I'm critical of a few for like having mechanics that were so like you almost had to be on mic with people, and I'm like this content is kind of advertised as like, yeah, just pop in a queue and wait until the queue pops and then run through. And so I think a lot of people don't do them because of that. So the experience is queues are forever, and they're kind of you really can't go into it without kind of knowing explicitly what to do, which is a big turnoff for I think a lot of people. It's not like a dungeon, a Destiny dungeon, where you can kind of just queue for any and you go, I've never done this one before, and you can make it through without losing your head. These are like, if you don't know what you're doing, people get mad, a little frustrated at you because they're like, dude, do the mechanics. Why don't can you do the mechanics? Like, we wiped 4 times now. Do the mechanics. And it's just like, I don't know the mechanics because I didn't watch the 40-minute YouTube video before queuing for a random dungeon.
Valid.
How
that kind of thing. Well, not to mention they're like random. Well, not random. You can queue for specific ones, but there's specific rewards for doing a random dungeon daily. So you just queue for a random daily dungeon, and you might queue for one you've never ever done before. So people aren't queuing for random dungeons. So it's created this kind of environment where you kind of have to be in the know to enjoy the content, which sucks because the content's really good. So it's created an environment where a lot of people don't want to do the content. All the grouping is focused more around the end game raids than the 4-man content. You can ask for a trial group or a raid, and you'll get a bunch of people who are like, "Yep, I'm interested. I want to do it." And you'll sit there in the guild chats and you'll be like, "Hey, looking for 3 people, not 12, because the raids are 12. I just need 3 of you to come do a dungeon or 2 with me." And it's just radio silence. And then in the exact same guild, somebody would be like, "Looking for literally a full group, 12 people for this trial," and it's just like, "Oh, me." It's like, okay. So I that's just the in-game experience, which is a bummer because I like 4-man content. But they're introducing crossplay. I don't know when it's been announced. Crossplay is coming, PC and PlayStation. So I think that'll help the community a lot in that regard. I hope it revitalizes or rejuvenates the 4-man content, and people do more pickup groups for and queue for dungeons because there are more people playing. So the queues are shorter, so they don't have to. Because some people don't want to. I would sit in these queues as a damage dealer sometimes for 30 to 45 minutes before I'd finally find a group. Yeah. So that's probably a huge turnoff for a lot of people. Also, people don't want to just sit and queue. Like, you can go do other things. You queue and then you can go do quests and whatever else you want to do, your dailies. But yeah, people, I'm sure that's a big turnoff. So hopefully reducing queue times and having more people who can help people and know what they're doing kind of revitalizes the 4-man community in the game, because I really like all the dungeons. Anyway, so done with all the dungeons. I've completed every raid now. It's just single player stuff, really. Like, they're gonna add more. The night market is a new piece of content coming this month. It's confirmed timed stuff, so it's going to go away. It's only going to be here for the season and then come back, and then depending on player reception, it might eventually become a permanent addition. But it's advertised as challenging PvE content, where there's basically you pick between 3 factions, kind of like slumlord factions, like you're doing some illegal shit. it's called, I don't know if I said, it's called the night market. So like the whole vibe is like bars and like underground kind of trade and all that kind of stuff. And you pick one of 3 of these underground factions you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And then it's a PvE, competitive PvE experience. So the objective is to do requests for your faction, and at the end of the season, whoever's faction amongst the player base has more, like the best favor or whatever, will get like rewards. So that's kind of the idea behind it. I think it sounds pretty cool. With it being a rotational event or a non-permanent event, unsure. It will have in-game achievements. Unsure if it will have Xbox achievements. I know Sony lucked out, or PlayStation lucked out on Overwatch by not getting any of the event achievements, because their policy says if you're going to make a trophy, the content has to persist.
Right.
So they didn't get like the Halloween or the Winter Wonderland trophies. I wonder if ZOS will be like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to develop achievements for one if we can't put them in for the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't get achievements for the night market, which I would prefer because I don't want to have to FOMO about it.
Yeah.
Unclear on if there will be just achievements in general for the season stuff. Like there surely will be for dungeons because those will persist, and there surely will be for the new trials we're supposed to get. That's already confirmed this year to get a trial. But yeah, I'm interested to see they're doing 3-month seasons. We just started the first season a week ago, not even a week ago, like earlier this week is when it finally ticked over to season 0. So we'll see if what's to come. There's been no achievements yet this season. Like I said, the night market drops in I think a week. And we'll see over the course of the next year if they keep adding stuff. So all I have is overlaying content and then 2 PvP achievements that I am unfortunately dreading. One for getting like 1,000 points in a match, which will come in time. That's just a numbers game. I've never even played the PvP, so that'll just come over the course of time. The other is for playing the CTF mode and capping 3 flags in one game. And that's just, unfortunately, there's not a persistent CTF playlist or queue. You have to queue in the normal 8v8 big team playlist and hope it pops up in your rotation. And then when it pops up, you gotta hope you get it. And if you don't, you gotta just keep queuing until you eventually get another. And I've heard queues for the Battlegrounds PvP stuff can be long because apparently the PvP is also a dying breed in ESO. It's becoming more of a PvE centric game than a PvP centric game. So they do events. They do weekend events every now and again. They haven't done one for like a year, but they do weekend events where they keep the relic hunter up 24/7. So might be an instance of I've finished everything and I just brute force. I just become a PvP player and only play PvP in ESO until I finish it. Or I get lucky and one of those events comes around and I can do it in a weekend. But that's really the only treatment now that I see as a roadblock. Everything else is perfectly in my reach. It's just solo content. I can solo everything in the game, overland wise. So like even the new bosses and stuff that they ramp up difficulty every expansion, it seems like, and even the newest stuff I can solo the world bosses there. So yeah, there's pretty much nothing outside of my ability other than that one achievement that's going to haunt me a little bit. So apparently Admiral said it was worse for him than Emperor was.
Wow.
So
okay.
Don't love hearing that. Does not instill confidence.
Nope.
But I don't know. Admiral, I'm going to call him out, was also a bitch and didn't want to queue for a veteran try. He could have had this completion a long time ago. He genuinely could have. He had finished everything except the veteran DLC dungeon stuff. And it wasn't until I started randomly queuing for them every day and like finding success and getting through the whole list where I was like, dude, you're higher level than me. Like you could have been doing this. Like we don't need to find a dedicated group. You just need to know the mechanics, and you could have done it. So he's finally started doing it. He's very close. He has 8 achievements left in the game. 2 of them are kind of miscellaneous dungeon achievements that are kind of a pain in the ass to get, but the rest is just for finishing dungeons, so
Mm.
Admiral might be posting an ESO completion. He's doing what I was doing, where he's
Ooh.
doing the DLC the dungeon every day, but we might see him post a ESO completion here in the next few weeks.
That'd be amazing.
We'll look out
Yeah.
for it then.
I still have a lot of work to do, unfortunately, but he's very close.
The main thing, I'll talk about two things very quickly because one of them is like they're basically like half games. So I finished up Dead Cells yesterday, so I'll sort of reiterate my thoughts on it from last week. I think this is half a game that I love and half a game that I just do not fuck with. It's really funny to see. Like I haven't been this mixed on a game in quite a while. Like I love the art and I love the music and the design and like the weapons are fun to use and that sort of stuff. But actually playing the game is kind of just doing nothing for me in terms of the kind of experience of going through a few maps, going from level to level, just kind of getting through to the end, fighting a boss. And like obviously I have the assist mode on and stuff, so obviously I know that changes the experience a little bit, but I don't feel like I would have a better time if I was dying more often and having to replay the game more and more. And I know that it's a game it's a pre-pandemic roguelite, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to judge it too harshly, right? It's a game that's like 8 years old or whatever, but I definitely feel like I think my issue with it is the lack of real meta progression makes the game less enjoyable for me in terms of, yeah, like to compare it with something like I've been playing through Sworn a lot with Stubby, Cameron, and Keo, and that is a shameless Hades ripoff, which is like every time we do a run on that, and we've made good progress. We've finally had a few successful runs. You get upgrade currency for better chance to get better upgrades or more health when you restore some health when you go through each area, or there's a chance of finding extra gold or extra bonus levels and bonus abilities you can earn. A lot of it is chance based, but the idea being that you can kind of put a thumb on the scale to make your experience more easier or have more options as you kind of go through it, where it feels like Dead Cells is very much like, well, you don't get any stronger as you go through the game. You get more health kits and you unlock the potential of getting new weapons, but you kind of go, okay, well, once you kind of have a build that you're looking for, it gets kind of annoying where you're like, well, I didn't find the build, the RNG didn't work out in my favor, so I'm stuck with like subpar weapons or things that I don't like because I've collected so much shit over this playthrough. And they've added a custom mode that makes that a lot easier, so you can kind of like customize, like, hey, I just want this pool of weapons to be available. So you can kind of customize your experience a bit more and make that a bit more to do with what you want. But I don't think that improves the kind of repetitiveness of the game. And like I know that the point of the game is to play the game over and over and over again. I just don't like. I was hoping that this was going to be a roguelike like Hades that I kind of like enjoy in spite of that. But it just did not click with me, unfortunately, in that way.
They took the I also completed this one. They took the Binding of Isaac approach, where your meta progression is just new weapons in your runs, which is like I've always kind of hated that. Like, oh, you what you get is new weapons. I've always kind of hated that because, in my opinion, that's always worse. Like, you're just tainting the RNG pool with like things that suck.
And like there might be a few good ones in there, right? Like I like a lot of you randomly stumble on references to other games, and like like I found like the Hyperlight Drifter sword and gun, or there was the giant whale from I think Slay the Spire and other bits and bits. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff they've added over the years, but because we're 5 expansions into this game and all the extra stuff that like there are 35 updates into this game. The pool of things is so huge that the majority of them are just things you don't want to use.
It's almost like that makes me feel like that's almost why they had to add the custom mode, because they're just like, okay, it's way too much, and you got to cure it a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked Dead Cells, but I finished it before any of the DLC came out, and then I went back and did all the DLC, and I kind of got what you were saying. Like I was like, I put on the fucking ooh-ah mode. I love calling story mode now, the UA mode.
Yeah.
I think
The
that's
UA
hilarious.
mode, yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
Great.
I love putting on a UA mode. But yeah, even like you said, I was like, I don't think I'm getting anything out of this. I don't think I ruined my experience by watering it down. I don't think like dying over. I don't think I would have felt the sense of progression of like going through and like it wouldn't have been there. I think the game just wore on me. It just was like this repetitive and for not much purpose.
Yeah. And I think maybe part of that is part of the design, right? Like there aren't really like when Dead Cells came out, there weren't games like that. You know?
Yeah, well, because roguelites are supposed to be repetitive, right?
Yes.
And so when the repetitiveness of a roguelite wears on you, then it's like, okay, this is kind of a problem. It's like the conversation I always have around Life is Strange, where I say if your game's a narrative-driven game and your narrative is bad, your game is kind of bad. It's like if your game if your game relies on the repetitive game loops never feeling repetitive, and it feels repetitive, well then you're kind of failing at what you set out to do.
It's that's actually what I wanted to ask you.
There's a balance.
Yeah, and part of that is I'm coming to this game with all the updates and having all the content to go through, and like I blasted through all of it in like a week and a half or whatever. So maybe I'm not having the like, you know, maybe I've condensed that experience down to if I had started it when it first came out and I just kind of would jump back in when the new updates came in to play for a few hours, maybe I'd have a slightly different experience. But I think, like you said, this game would have been very thin in terms of content if you played it without all these I'm looking. If you look at the map of the alternate routes you can go down, if you did, like most of those are DLC routes. There's 5 DLC packs. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. But like if you didn't have those, it would be a pretty straight. Like it would be a very very straight run in terms of like you have maybe one or two choices.
You figure out your path and you do that every time. Because yeah, I did play without any DLC. I streamed it, which may also impact my experience. It's always a different experience streaming a game. I found it I actually found it quite like not too difficult because I didn't play. They didn't have accessibility modes when I played it, so I didn't find it too difficult up until I don't remember what they call it, Cell 4 or 5 or whatever it was. And that's when I did. There was a save scum, so I did start save scumming it because I was like, I'm over it. I just want to finish this one game. But yeah, you more so than I think you did after the DLCs. You found a route. You did that route every time. You found a build. You did that build every time. And this was the first game where I did feel like Binding of Isaac. I didn't feel as disincentivized to get new weapons, and same with Returnal. This was the first game where I felt genuinely disincentivized to get new weapons because I thought everything was worse than the starting pool. So I picked out a few things, and then I genuinely never spent my cells on weapons because I was like, no, I don't want this potentially unlocked in my runs. It's garbage.
Yeah. I had a huge
picking
list
up the same thing
of things that I could unlock, and I was like, well, I'm just spending cells on costumes because that's, you know, I need to put them somewhere, or forge upgrades to kind of.
I was like, no, I want the trap, the turret, bleed weapons, and that's it. Like, just don't give me anything else in my potential.
I was like, give me the electric whip, gives me range, and then I'll just keep powering it up, and I'll just keep using that, and just keep up my tactics.
I think I had a good time I did a lot of kunai, the bleed kunai, and then anything bleed. I was a bleed build kind of person. I just throw out all my fucking traps, and then I duck and hide, and then just wait for the enemy's health to just delete.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like, I'm glad I've done, like, it's one that I've had sitting in my unstarted backlog for a long time, and I'm kind of glad that I got through it. But, I was more mixed on the experience than I thought I was going to be, because, it has so much of the stuff that I like in games in terms of, like, the styling, the Metroidvania stuff, the side-scrolling kind of aspect. And, like,
Maybe the focused experience was better, though, because I did I remember having a good time, and then I do remember going back to do all the DLC and being like, ugh, this is kind of weighing on me. But
yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I think, but I also really enjoyed the last DLC, which was the Castlevania one. And then part of me was like, maybe part of it is set dressing, like maybe it is like vibes that I'd like make it. Maybe I just don't fuck with the Dead Cells vibe, and like maybe putting it in Castlevania, having Alucard show up, having you fight Dracula at the end, having you get the vampire. I was like, I clearly just want to play another Metroidvania. Like that's clearly where I'm at, and obviously that team is going on to make the new Castlevania, so I'm very very excited for that. But yeah, so like I did that yesterday. I was like, oh, this Castlevania bit's actually quite fun, but it's also a very small part of the experience. Also in the chat, Mad Lefty wants us to mention that Graveyard Keeper is apparently free at the moment. If you want to pick it up, it's you get it free to keep because I guess they're promoting their new Gravekeeper 2 stuff they're doing. So go and check that out.
I gotta go. I that game is broken for me, and I'm not gonna waste time restarting it because restarting it might not fix it. But I am gonna go play that game on PlayStation because I do want to do the DLC and I do want to get the 100% something because I did really enjoy that game. But I unfortunately played at a time a bad patch was circulating.
That's
where if you
right.
quit the game,
No.
if you quit the game, your cumulative achievement progress would stop tracking and it would reset and it would never get back to like where it was. So there are some people who say you might be able to do certain workarounds that I don't want to mess around with because it's a lot of unplugging or your Ethernet at specific points in times and plugging it back in.
Yeah.
Playing in one sitting, like doing a 30 hours of game without turning the game off kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I'll just go. I'll ditch that. I'll just ditch that. And I'll just go get the plat and all the DLC stuff on PS4 where I know it should work at this point. So it's my intent.
No, that's totally fair. Char, you got something?
Yeah, I've only actually been playing one game lately because I've been in Auckland visiting my 3-year-old niece and family. But, wow, okay, technically I've played 2 games.
Okay.
But I don't really need to mention the other game very much because technically my 3-year-old niece was playing it. So that's been fun, but it hasn't loaded up on my TA, so I can't see it there at the moment. But I've been playing the Talos Principle 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, I have not played the first one.
Mm-hmm.
This is me coming in blind. I'm just playing the second one because I didn't own the first one yet and didn't have access to it. FYI, if anyone wants to get a really good deal, there is the collection set that has the DLC, Talos Principle 2, Talos Principle 1, and the remake. And it's like 60 or 70% off or something like that. It's cheaper than buying any of the individual games. So check that out, FYI. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. Like I said last time that I don't often play games where I will exclusively listen and play the game, right? Usually I'll have something going on. I'll have a video or a TV show, or lately it's been One Piece and anime. Something else is going on in the background so I don't have to listen to the game sound. I'm not doing that again with Talos Principle 2. So it's the same as Final Fantasy Remake, the Intergrade one. I'm doing the exact same thing where I'm actually just playing the game and I'm not putting anything on. I'm just playing it. It's really good. The story's quite fun. And I've been doing every single dialogue option and just listening to the dialogue as I go.
Crazy what a difference that can make on your experience of the game.
Funny that.
ESO was just me mashing through the dialogue. I didn't care about the quest, and now I'm like, wait, if I just like slow down, like that was a cool little side story. I would have never got that by just mashing through. So
I'm just letting it play. I'm not even skipping. I'm letting it play the dialogue because I'm fascinated by it. But I think also because I haven't played the first one, I'm like, I want to know what's going on, and just the way that they think and the different characters. And without too many spoilers, basically your character is called 1K, and you are the 1000th. Number 1000, and so there's 999 other humans, quotation mark, and so they all have different names, but they all have their number as well, and they have different voice box options and all sorts of stuff, and you get to talk to them, and they live in New Jerusalem. And there's all sorts of different internal politics stuff going on. So I'm just finding it fascinating, the different story that's going on behind it. And usually I get really bored with stories really quickly. I haven't yet. And I wonder if it's partly because I'm doing the story, but then I get to break it up with doing the puzzles. of which there's so many.
Yeah.
Be prepared for how many there are going to be. There are 8 different. So there's 8 different areas with 3 areas in each one, and each of those 3 have 8 puzzles, not including the 2 optional puzzles. So 10 times 3 times 8.
It's a big list, yeah.
It's and it's got a huge list of achievements too. It's got 86 total. I'm currently at 18, and I've played 8 hours of it, and I'm sort of solidly into this first area of the second area of the first zone, and I've just finished the 7th puzzle in that. I did use the Prometheus fire for a few things because I found a map that has like the locations of everything. So I was like, sweet, cool. I'll just use that to collect all the bits and pieces. Because it's really hard to navigate using they don't have a map in game. It's just the compass at the top, and my brain just goes, what the fuck? I don't understand. I need to point towards that, but then the map is not letting me go to certain places. So some wonderful people have created, there's a person on Reddit that's created this map that has all of the different locations of all of the different things, the Easter eggs, of which there's one in each of the zones. The only one I'm going to share is there is a movie poster for the first game.
Oh, right.
In the first zone.
Cool.
It's very cool. You're like, cool, that's so cool. Like when I found it the first time, I was like, yeah, cool. Awesome. And it's just making me want to play the first game. And I'll probably play the first game and play the remaster because I've got access to them now.
I was going to say, yeah, like I'd be really curious to get your thoughts on the original game.
Because I'll be going backwards too, so that's going to be
yeah.
interesting. And I'm almost tempted to stop where I am now, go back, play the first one, and then come back to the second one. So then I get the story better.
The first one is much more conceptual. You know, like it was very, like it was made by the same people who made Serious Sam, so it's a lot of the same sort of environments, and it was very much like, let's do a Serious Sam style platforming and puzzle game as opposed to shooting.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit simpler in terms of its
love
design,
puzzles,
but
so I'm good with that.
It's like Portal 1 and Portal 2,
exactly.
right? Portal 1 was more of a tech demo with this story afterthought, and Portal 2 was like, okay, we're going to build an
Here's a story now. Yeah. Cool. Okay. See, I'm fine with that because, again, I love puzzles, and there is so much story in Talos Principle 2 that I'm like, this is fascinating. What if I go back and just see the difference to how they got to this being the storyline? Especially because there's so many little bits of lore and all these little intricate things, and I'm not even working through the achievement list with this one. I'm kind of just playing it, and I've already unlocked 18 achievements without even trying. So, and like some of them are kind of fun because I overloaded my system with a data stream overload and just was like, oh cool, sweet, that's fun. There's a section where the achievement is not what it seems, and it's get involved behind the scenes. So there must be something that you do. I can't remember what I did to get that one. There's even a museum in New Jerusalem where you get to go through the museum, and it has all this like historical stuff, like shows you the boxes and things like that, and like all the different tools and things. And I'd like to know what the tools were in the first game because I don't know the difference. I only know what the tools I have now, right? And there's ones that there's like a disruptor that makes a hole in a wall. There's a connector that connects a beam to a door lock. There's another one that is like RGB, and you have to connect 2 different colors to create the third color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that's your connect. Yeah. So it's quite good so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. Yeah. Like highly recommend. And we'll see how the first one goes. But yeah, if you're interested, it's the Talos Principle Ultimate Collection is on a huge sale. So definitely snap that up.
You've been on this for a bit. I have physicals of both. I have a steel
cool,
deck, I think,
sweet.
of the second one.
Yeah, the bundle has the first game, the second game, the DLC for the second game, and the remastered version. So it's got 4.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out.
That's me, and then whatever the kid game was, I don't know. It must not have achievements because it's not popping up with achievements, so maybe it doesn't have any. Which would be nice. That would be very nice because It was like a party game with kids.
Speaking of kids games, I also did the My Little Pony game.
How was that, Matt?
It was pretty bad. I mashed my way through the story, so I have no idea who any of the characters are and what the whole thing was. They're none of. I don't think it's any of the original cast or anything like that. I think it's just a whole separate thing. Again, not
Really.
so there's no Applejack
Yeah,
or
it's-
whatever the hell they're called.
Or Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie
And I was
or-
like, well,
Yeah,
if you
Pinkie
find
Pies.
Pinkie Pie, that's
Yeah.
pretty much me. But
Yeah,
if
no.
there's no Pinkie Pie, then no.
No, I think it's
Screw
all
it.
like Zephyr and there's like an Instagrammer one and all that kind of stuff. It's
Huh.
And so it's a whole mystery thing of some kind. There's some magic stuff going on. I just skipped through all of it. It has this really annoying thing where when you finish the game, you need to do side quests in each of the areas. And the idea is that there are 5 quest givers in each zone, but you go and talk to one of them, and they'll either just give you a conversation option or they'll give you a quest, and then you have to go and check the other 4 to see if their quest has popped. Because you can basically never get all the quests from one person. You have to keep basically cycling around all 5 of them to get a quest, and then the other one has a quest triggering, and then another one and another one. But you never know which one it is, so you just got to keep checking it. And then some of the quests you have to have an emoji that you respond to them with.
Yeah.
And you get that emoji for finishing a quest in a different area. So it's like it just becomes a huge web of just like running around doing fetch quests. All of it is just like literal, just picking things up, fetch quests. There's no combat, a little bit of platforming. It was, and you can style your bright house thing if you really want to. I think it's an achievement for like dropping 1 piece of furniture. It's a trash game. It's absolute trash. I did manage to finish it relatively quickly, at least once I kind of figured out what the fuck the side quest thing was going on about, because the guides are not super great. But it's done. It's sorted. There's not really much to say there. But I have been thinking
Why
about...
did you do it?
I mean, it's leaving Game Pass, so I was like, well, like...
Yeah.
I
Matt
would-
decided
okay.
he needed to get
I didn't
it
know if
done.
like somebody put you up to it or something.
No,
or, like,
it's
what the
it's
deal
on Game
is.
Pass and it was leaving, and I was talking with Shane about it last week and umming and ahhing about whether we were going to do it or not, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I needed a break from Dead Cells because I was kind of burnt out on it, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just work on this for a bit and just kind of kill time, and it was fine.
Sweet.
And so I've been, now that Dead Cells is done, I was kind of like, okay, cool, what's my next backlog game going to be? And so I did the choice paralysis thing of starting like 5 different games and getting like a couple of achievements in them. So I won't go into them because I haven't really spent any time with them, but I started Final Fantasy 12. I started World of Final Fantasy Maximum, which I mentioned last week. I started... I actually can't remember what it's called, but it's like this really basic. You're in an arena as an anime girl with a sword, and you just cut things up, and enemies just spawn. It is the most like it's a really boilerplate game. Mitsu something or other. I also started Valkyria Chronicles 4. Did the first couple of missions of that. Really enjoying it, but it's also like you got to get A ranks in all the missions, and so I'm stressing the fuck out about that. But yes, there you go. Yeah.
Well, when it
Yeah, when it
doesn't. Yeah.
Yep. So like I did like first couple of fights for that. I've enjoyed it so far. But I'm also like I'm getting the thing of like, okay, cool. I don't.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Nice. Yes.
cool.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And I also did. I just sat through and finished Who's Your Daddy, because I just had that game in my backlog for no reason. I was like, I don't know what.
Oh, someone bought it for you.
Yeah, that's right. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna do it now because it's been sitting there. So that took me like 3
I think I'm
hours.
still locked on that. I need to go back and double check it because there was an achievement and they just wouldn't unlock for me for some reason.
They all seem to be working
might have
now,
been
so I'm wondering if they've
patched.
updated them. Yeah.
Okay.
But it took me like, it was sitting there. I did it for a couple hours. So it's another one off
It
the
doesn't
list.
take long. It's so dumb, but it doesn't take long.
Yeah. So
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say like, so now I'm putting together, I was talking to, on the Discord about what I picked next. And so I'm putting together a bit of a list on TA. So just like keep it updated on like what's on that backlog list. And I'll add Talos Principle
You're
now.
not. You need to use that spinny wheel I made you.
Yes, I know. I have Blood Money installed as well. I just haven't played it.
I have been spinny wheeling my life. I've decided to take hold of my decision paralysis, and I have started spinny wheeling absolutely everything.
It's
what
just...
I watch as my second modern entertainment, what I do before bed as my in bed before bed entertainment. It's been great.
Spinny wheels.
Spinny wheel. You're gonna make me You're gonna make me want to play Final Fantasy 12. I know it because that's my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I'm doing Lightning Returns when I'm done with my next. That's my next game that I've queued up. So, but I did dive 12 a long time ago, and you're gonna make me want to do it.
I mean, like, again, like, I basically got to the first save point or whatever, so, like, I've barely even started. I need to pick some classes and start thinking about builds and stuff. So, yeah, definitely keen to play on that. I think it's, like, I think that the household is getting annoyed about not having enough story games, because I've just been playing things like Dead Cells and stuff, so Final Fantasy 12 was a nice, alternate to kind of have a bit more narrative in the house for people to watch, so it's not just me playing fucking My Little Pony. But yeah, that's it. So I'm kind of like I'm smorgasbording it a little bit and just kind of like trying to see what grabs me and kind of jumping between a few different games. And like Char said, the spinny wheel said that I should play Hitman Blood Money HD, so I'm doing that as well. Haven't unlocked any achievements yet, but yeah.
We can always, respin the spinny wheel.
That's true.
That's what the whole point of it is for. It's just you don't like the choice.
You spin it and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm looking at around 48 to 50 games left on the list. Again, the list will fluctuate as I inevitably buy more shit that I shouldn't be buying. But I am making a dent in it, and I don't think I'm going to get all of them sorted before the end of the year. But I think that I'm pretty happy with my progress considering we're in April. So we'll see how it goes. Because I do still want to play some other stuff that's coming out this year, and Game Pass stuff obviously takes some priority sometimes. So we'll see, and then Hades too. But that's me, yeah, like a kind of a little bit light in terms of variety, but definitely curious to see where the next few weeks go. Anything else? Jake, do you have?
Yeah, I do actually. So took over my life for a long time, but I wanted to put that back on the back burner now that I'm done with like all the super hard stuff. And I wanted to get back to my little finish a game from every year challenge. So I picked Chrono Trigger back up and I started playing that. What used to be like, it felt like an hour or two every night. This has now been my main game. So I picked Chrono Trigger up. I beat it last night, 2 nights ago,
nice.
A couple nights ago.
Great.
I beat it very recently. I finished it. And then just did some grinding and some endgame stuff. All I have left, I do still have achievements left. All I have left is some miscellaneous stuff. There's a bunch of, if you've never played Chrono Trigger, spoilers for a 30-year-old game. There's a bajillion endings. It's like I was thinking about it today. I'm like, man, is there another game from like 94 that is notably has a bajillion endings?
No.
And I couldn't think of any. So there's a ton of endings, but you only really start to get them and you have to do New Game Plus. It's basically like different points in the story. You can go immediately to the last boss and fight him, and you get a different ending based on how far you like what had happened so far into the story. Because the game is all about time travel, so it's like everything you do is like impacting the future. So the rest of the achievements are just go fight the final boss at varying points in the main story. You do have to get to basically the end, so it is almost a full playthrough, but it's not going to be too bad. It's an emulator, so I just threw it on 2x speed mode and turboed the A button, so fights are just, I'm level 99, and I'm fighting these, like, everything dies in one hit, so it's just, like, blasting through, so it's not too bad. I actually got a good portion of the way up before the show today.
Nice.
But yeah, so now having beat Chrono Trigger, thoughts on Chrono Trigger. It managed. I usually find these old games for the first time, and they don't necessarily live up to the hype. Like they can still be good, or they can be absolute trash, and it's pure nostalgia goggles. I don't know if this is. I don't think it's number one for me. I think Super Metroid is still my favorite game of all time. But now having beat this game, I for sure can see why this continuously ranks number one on so many greatest of all time lists. The game is absolutely amazing. It stands up. If you don't really even like turn-based RPGs, I still think you'd have a lot of fun playing Chrono Trigger. because the game doesn't have like any force grinding. In fact, the achievement list requires you to fight certain bosses not under level, but it says like do this sort of do this miscellaneous thing while fighting the boss while making sure no one in your party is above level 20. And none of them were like too demanding. And I don't think the game doesn't really let you grind unless you can exit an area and come back and the enemies will respawn, but there's not random battles. It's every enemy you see is on the map and you have to run into it when you start the battle. And you can avoid battles if you want. You can like dodge around the enemies. I had a friend who played this a few years ago who hated JRPGs. He hated JRPGs and turn-based RPGs. And he played through it and he's like, no, this is a good game. The story is really well thought out and done really well. The art style is amazing. Akira Toriyama did all the art for it. So you can't go wrong there. Yeah, no, highly recommend. I don't think it's on Xbox in any capacity. I don't think it's on PlayStation either, which is a shame.
It definitely feels like a bit of a blind spot, right? Like it's one of those games that like I think they did like a DS version of it back in the day.
That's what I'm playing is the DS version.
Yeah, right. And so like there's that, and then that's kind of it. They never really like it feels like it'd be ripe for a remake.
I actually researched what version I should play before I started. There's the SNES version, there's a DS version. Which adds a ton of content to the game. A bunch of good, like a new endgame super boss that isn't in the original. So if you're like a super boss enjoyer, you should figure out how to play the DS version. And two whole new like side zones and like kind of mini stories along with it. And then there's the iOS version, which is a direct port of the NES version. So like all the new content stripped out, which is a shame. And then the iOS version was ported to Steam. So that's the most modern way to play this on Steam, and there's like 13 achievements, and they're not very hard. And I almost went for that version, but I settled on the DS version, which had the most achievements of all of the versions because of all the extra content and stuff. But yeah, no, it's for sure overdue for something. Like it's this legendary game that like no one's forgot about. Everyone's like, yeah, Chrono Trigger. Hey, it's one of the goats, like one of the greatest of all times, like a certified banger. Why is it trapped on iPhone, DS, SNES, and I guess Steam? Like, yay, we have it on Steam. But you have like one of the worst versions on Steam. It's just the iPhone port, which has some notable problems to it. Like it has some. It's one of those games that they had to mod to be good. Yeah, like they had to mod some decent quality, like for load times and like lag. They had to mod it on PC. So it's crazy how little the attention they've given to Chrono Trigger when it's got like the crazy status that it does. And it holds up for sure. So if you had any interest at all and never played it, I highly recommend it. I'm super glad I finally got around to it. Looking forward to finishing it up. Hopefully, if not this weekend, maybe in the next few days, early next week, and then I can jump into Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 finally. And that's it. Other than, I guess I've done like 5 or 6 runs of Ball X Pit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, that's me. That's all I've been up to since the last time I was on.
Nice.
That's a good list. All right. Well, let's get into the word challenge. Everyone's favorite competition where Kirby comes up with the most esoteric clues of all time. But if you go on our Discord and you try and figure out what he's talking about on the word challenge channel, you get 1 guess per hour. You can win some money. So every week he gives a clue. He's got a game in mind. We don't know what it is this time. The last one we did, so this is all a mystery to us as well. And so we're making sure to follow the rules because we might be chucking a couple of guesses in as well. But the first clue he gave last week was Echo. Second
the
clue,
dolphin.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
The dolphin. Yeah, that's what
Echo
I thought.
to the
The dolphin, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
Well, it's ECHO, so I don't think it's the dolphin. But I don't think anyone's tried guessing the dolphin, so it could be.
True.
And the second clue is an unreal climb starting in China.
I can relate that to Echo the Dolphin somehow. I think.
We'll figure it out.
I know I could.
We'll make it work.
There'll be a way.
Yeah. So yeah, very curious to see what that game is because I'm just as confused as you guys are. So best of luck. Go on the Discord, guess in the Word Challenge channel, and if you get it right, the GIF will pop up, and hey, you win some money. We also have the leaderboard. Char, do you happen to have that up there?
Yep. All right. In third place, we have Northern Lass with 12,320. In second place, we have Thrash Forever with 16,180. And in first place, with an absolutely insane score, a Grey Shark with 119,905.
Jesus Christ. Shark,
What are
you
you
need to calm down.
doing?
That's
Chill, bro.
That's more than a year's worth of gamer score.
That's
What are you doing?
crazy.
That is crazy.
What is a Grey Shark at in terms of total? He's at 3.2 million. That's
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Anytime Dish posts a screenshot anywhere, I kind of want to throw up.
Yeah,
so.
I know what you mean, right? Like Dish is crazy in terms of, and he fucking does some hard games too. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just all trash.
No, yeah.
It makes me want to vomit every time I see it.
But that's that is absolutely nuts.
We also have the completions. Rapture finished Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. The Moonzom did Halo CE Anniversary, Winterborough, and Lego Star Wars 2. Mad Lefty did Loot River and NHL 94 Rewind. Reaganstein did Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 3 on the 360. Shadowed Sly put a bunch in where he got Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising done, Overcooked All You Can Eat, Fallout Shelter, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the old 360 version done. And then Tolinator finished up Dead Island Definitive Edition, which Professor Pluto was very happy about. And I think that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the show. As always, you can catch us on Twitch, Xbox Hall of Gamers is the place to find us. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Hall of Gamers. And you can always email us and talk to us hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, get your questions into the Discord channel. We love having questions. Red Ninja Dan is obviously doing a fantastic job as always, but we love having things to talk about and interesting kind of, especially when news is slow and we want to have some other things to talk about. We always love the questions. Anything you guys want to shill? No.
This is it. This is what I do these days. This is the pod.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Well,
This is my life.
a huge thank you to Jake and Char, my wonderful co-hosts, as well as our other co-hosts who couldn't be here this week. Our wonderful Patreons, our listeners and watchers. Check the show out on your audio platform of choice or catch the VOD on YouTube. That's been episode 208. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah.